Hello Flosstube, it's Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner, and this is June 1st, and I'm here with my update from Mania. If you watched my Mania video, you might have known I had some pretty ambitious plans. And everything was smooth and going along very nicely until about halfway through the month. And the reason for this is because at that point, I pretty much went to monogamous mania or whatever. As some of you might know, I had an anniversary with my boyfriend at the end of May, and I wanted to make him something because he's difficult to shop for and blah blah blah, like that type of thing. And I'm a crafter. What can I say? So what happened was I had started this project with the intention of making it for him, and in order to finish it on time, that was all I could do. I don't have it with me as I've given it to him already, but if you've seen, I've posted on Mania, I made a anniversary temperature flower garden where the petals of the flowers corresponded to the temperature for the past year that we've been together. And then I turned it into a pillow. And if I can ever figure out how to insert pictures, I would insert a picture of the project here. It turned out beautiful and he really loved it. And I'm really glad that I did that, even though that was basically a lot of my concentration for the last, I was staying up till like 2, 3 in the morning to finish it, and he was surprised. He never saw me working on it, which was good. That was my plan. And since I don't have it here with me, I'll just tell you that the project ended up being 8,300 stitches, and since I only count half stitches, like back stitches, as half of a stitch, you could think of it as a lot more than that, because it took a long time to do all the stems of like 72 flowers and the little bottom borders and the names of the months. I was going to try to show you guys a picture on my phone, but I don't even know where I put my phone right now. Anyways, so that's just that kind of, I'll just get that one out the way. So I printed out my spreadsheets, and for my goal of 1,000,000 stitches, I'm now at 26,165. There's quite a few projects on here. All of these are the ones that are current whips that I've worked on in the past 3 months, which is when I started this spreadsheet. And there are 4 finishes, which actually I'm pretty proud of myself that I've finished 4 things so far this year. I go years without finishing things, so tracking everything is helping a lot. In May, I stitched a total of 13,899 stitches. So, that, I mean, that's a good 5,500 that weren't on the anniversary flower garden. So I think that even though I put in a lot of time on that, I got a lot done. And I'm pretty proud of myself. This is double what I did in April. So I had 8 starts, and I'll talk about those as I go along. They weren't the ones I wanted, but they're the ones that happened, because for some reason I put the ones I wanted to do the most at the end of the month. They'll get started eventually. And then I had 1 finish, which was fully finished, which is also rare for me because I don't tend to know how to finish things very well, and I just put them away. But so, we're going to work in alphabetical order again, skipping the flowers because I already told you about that. The first one up is A Christmas Carol. This is black and white printout. It's a heaven and earth design. And I got 1,451 stitches done on this. So I finished all the black on the second page, and then I made a start in the third page. And I am really, really actually loving stitching this as extreme cross country. Like, you can see that those are buildings there, and I just like seeing the outline of it come together. It's just a lot of fun to try it this way. I never thought I would like it, but I actually really do. I had made the goal to finish my April cottage, which looks like this. That did not happen. I got done 178 stitches, so the little flowers in the trees, this line, and this stem of a larger flower is all that got done. Soulful Stitching group on Facebook for the first 17 days of June is having a like a finish in response to Mania. It's an attempt to get projects finished in the first 17 days. So I would like to get done the April cottage and also the May cottage if possible. But I have made overly ambitious plans for next month, and it would take quitting my job to get them accomplished, because I think I added it up and it's like 30,000 stitches, which is not going to happen. I mean, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Next up is Beach Babies. This is a Dimensions kit. Aren't they so cute? Ooh. Hate the beach, but I love those little babies. So I got 248 stitches done on this one. And so what I finished was this column right here and this one right here. I finished this column. I already had it started, and I did this whole one. And when you look at the picture, it's part of the fence. So that's what I did there. Next up is a new start. I started the buffalo in the big 5 from my South African safari that I went on. And I got in 118 stitches. It looks like that. So if you look at the picture right here, it's this leg right here. So that was one new start. My next new start actually was just, oops, just let me pick those up. Just a couple days ago, and I started my very first Mill Hill kit. I've never done one of these before, and in my family we have this tradition. Every year we get a new Hallmark ornament in a series. So we each have a series that we get an ornament from, and I have gone with the wind. So on my fireplace mantelpiece I have like 8 scarlets looking out at you. I keep them up all year long because they're beautiful, and why not? I mean, they're just sitting there. They don't have to be on the Christmas tree. Anyways, so I decided to make each member of my family, well, each family unit, an ornament for Christmas every year, and I let them pick whichever series they wanted or whatnot. So my sister Alex picked the Nutcracker one. So the first one she's gonna get is Drosselmeyer, and this is what I got done. Move my needle minder. So some of the stocking, this is beads in here, socks. There's a little bit of pants that I still have to stitch, and then some hat, but beads are gonna fill that in. And then this gets cut out and attached to the coat part. So I'm really enjoying this. I didn't think that I would enjoy the Mill Hill kits as much because I'm not really into ornaments so much all the time. But it's nice to have a small project. It fits in my purse. I put all the floss onto this butterfly floss holder that I've never known what to do with because it's plastic and I didn't want to write on it. But with only 9 colors, it was really easy to just put them on here. I don't know, I enjoy it. So that was my last start of the month, and I started it on the 30th. And I just got in 136 stitches on that. My next new start was the elephant one, and I really like this elephant. And that's what I got done, which correlates to this leg. You can see this darker gray in here. That's what that is. And so I got 178 stitches done on that one. Next up was one of my whips that I had pulled out to work on, and it is his hands, which I want to do for my dad. He might be retired by the time he gets it, but I worked one of the grays in here. I think the darker one. So I did it all in that area, and that was 212 stitches. So one of the bigger numbers, but it doesn't look like much was accomplished, but it was. Then we have the pumpkin passport. Let's go on an adventure. The last time you guys saw this, all I had done was Anne. So I worked on doing adventure. I got to the end. I would have worked more on it, but I was trying to finish those flowers. Then we have Lion from the Big Five. This one only got 58 stitches done on it. And honestly, yeah, I'm not sure if I could, maybe here's where that's at. No, I don't think so. Oh, right here? Maybe right here. I marked the charts so I can find it later. But that's the lion. Then we have the mother and child. I really like that one. I got in 141, but these were half stitches, so I think I actually did double that amount in half stitches. And I worked over here. So I'm working my way in. I don't know if I'm going to do all the background first and then come back and do the dress. I haven't decided yet. But, yep, so got some done on this. I really like this piece. Next up, we have the project I worked on the most after the flowers, and that is Portrait of Veronica. She's so beautiful. And I got in 1,936 stitches on her. And that's where we're at. This is a part of the dress. The bustle? I believe. So I'm working, I think what I'm gonna do is do all the black on the dress part first and then come in and fill in the colors. Just this part of the dress and then maybe through there. And then work my way up. So then do this part of her and then the top part. Because it's so nice, I just cut some black from that big huge cone I got, and I can just put it with my project and just, you know, take it on the go. And then I'm doing the method, the cross stitching method, where I have this in hand and I just go and work on it from the top, so where you stick your needle in like this. Oops, like this, and then you pull it through so you never actually have to go to the back. Sorry, have to fix that really fast. Needle was on the wrong side. There we go. And so I can actually get about 200 stitches on this in an hour. Sometimes a little bit more. So that's why this one has so much progress, because this material is great for holding in hand. Like, I'm a little bit worried because of how much material shows through, but I looked up other pictures on a group from Mirabilis, and they all had a lot of fabric showing through too. So, but then when you took a step back, it blended in really well. So I think it will be fine. But this fabric is really nice for holding in hand. It's just, I've tried it with others and my hand gets stiff and it's slower, but this, it's just do. So, I hope that goes well. Next up is the last of my big 5, which I only have 4 of, and that's the rhinoceros. This one only got 59, so right around what the the lion got. Honestly, I don't know where that is. I really don't. I think some of the stomach, but good grief. Those were done just to get a start in, I'm pretty sure. Next we have Storytime Sampler. I did 164 on this, and I worked more on the banner. So I think I finished some in there, and then I worked a length of thread across. So then I had a summer ball as a new start. I only got in 176 stitches, and they're light colors, so I hope you can see that. I think there's 3 colors in there. And this is one I hope to get back to soon because I love this piece. It just reminds me of Jane Austen and the Regency era, and I love it. Finally, we have Twist the Night. I did get some work in on this one. Not as much as I had wanted to, only 121 stitches, and I didn't even finish the word stockings. So I am part of the N, so I finished the N, finished the G, started the S. Like, I couldn't even finish the S. No, because I ran out of the length of thread and I was rushing. But I'm so excited to get back to that one sometime soon, hopefully. The last whip I have to work on, and the reason I saved it for last is because it's on my scroll rods, is yesterday was my mother's birthday. Happy birthday. And so I promised her that I would work on the Serengeti Mandala, which she will eventually be receiving. So it's on black fabric. So I worked on this while listening to an audiobook by one of her favorite authors, and I did a bunch of beads in there. I don't know if you can see all that sparkle. And actually, this is upside down. Not that it matters that much for the sake of the video, but so I did all of the beads. I'd finished this with the gold beads, and I'd done about up to there on this band. So I finished the gold in this, the gold in this, and the gold in this, and then I did the beads around this outside border. It's a blue and a green color. So I used some Naima beading thread, because before I'd used invisible thread on the other two, the first two. And that was a beast to work with. And so I had watched some Flosstube videos that recommended the Naima. And so I ordered some off Amazon, and if you're not working with it, it is a dream to work with. Like, the invisible thread was constantly twisting and turning and just being a jerk. And the Naima was just, it was really good. For the sake of counting, on, I believe it's the Ultimate Cross Stitch group, they say to count beads as like half a stitch, or in your stitch counting, but I'm counting it as a full stitch, because I would understand that if you only do one pass through the bead, but I do a complete X on the bead, which is a full stitch, and these things take way longer than a normal stitch to do, so I count it as a full stitch. And that being said, I put on 221 beads. So my family is coming to visit this weekend, and I plan on working on this. My mom wanted me to put in 1,000 stitches this month because, Kate, you're supposed to be working on it, blah, 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 blah. Like, you don't have any other projects to work on. She watches these, so she's going to hear that. But I talked her down to 600. So I think 2 more days should get me to 600. So that'll be really good, because I do really love working on this project, and I know a lot of people struggle with black on black. I mean, not black on black was a bit of a struggle stitching. You can't even see the black thread on here, but there is some, like, surrounding each of these is black thread. So that did suck. But I don't have much of an issue stitching on black fabric, regardless of the color. I just have a light that I put over me, an aught light, and I just stitch. I don't know, it's not that much of a problem for me, but yeah. So I thought I'd organize this well, because I'd taken all my whips out of the bags I store them in. I'd taken out the pictures so you could see them, and I was really proud of myself. Then I realized I left my bullet journal all the way over there, and my phone, I was going to show you guys the pictures. So maybe not as organized as I thought. But basically, in my bullet journal, I made a 2-page spread with the multiple groups that I'm in and the challenges that they have going on this month. And then I put projects with those and the stitch count that is wanted for each of those projects, and the start and end date. And then I had a list of other projects I'd like to get some stitches in. That'll be a miracle. But it's all really nicely organized so that I can color in the blocks as I get like 100 stitches done on this or that. But I'm supposed to get 1,500 stitches in on a project by the end of this weekend. And I chose Happily Ever After from Pumpkin Passport because I'm so far behind. And when I say so far behind, I mean I have like most of the border done, and that's it. Like, I haven't even done Heidi or anything. Heidi was the second one. I haven't even done the first one. So, I would like to get 1,500 stitches done on that. That's my main goal right now. But with my family coming to visit, I'm not even sure I'll get any. Okay, no, I'll get any because I've done 51. So, I'll get a few in. But probably not the 1,500. So, that's my main goal for the rest of this week, is to work on that. And then when they get here tomorrow, I will put Serengeti back on the stand and hopefully get those 600 stitches completed. I do have, the animals, the big 5 animals, they're going to go away for a while because they're not really calling to me and I just wanted the starts, but they'll come back out eventually. They're going to be nice and easy and quick to stitch up, so I'm not too worried about that. What else? I ranted about the fabulous woman in history last video, and thank you all for the positive support. So the next part came out today, and it turns out it says women are the real architects of society, not history, like so many people were expecting. And I have real mixed emotions about this because I don't hate it as much as women are the real architects of history, but I'm still not sure it's that accurate, and I still think it's a bit divisive. So I'm still going to leave that for a little while. I'm probably going to end up taking out the real and recentering it, and then maybe doing a couple decorative motifs on either side. So, I would like to revisit those. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I might not wait a month to do my next video like I have been, but then again, June's actually going to be really busy for me because I have the family coming up here, and then I'm going down there for a 4-day weekend. So the first half of June is really busy. And then, I don't know how much time I'll have in the last half. We'll see.